in an opportunity will try to limit a person's contribution because of the word just.
Right, right, right.
There is no such thing as just. Well,
You're right.
all he did was just make an introduction, or all he did was just make a phone call. No, 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 no. You can never put a limitation on just,
You're right.
because without just making that invitation or just making that phone call or just setting up that golf outing, none of it happens.
Right.
Or as you say, all he did was write a book. Okay, well, guess what? That set the stage,
Right.
for everything else. And so one of the guys I mentor, um, he used to work with us at the foundation many many moons ago, and now this brother is just killing it in the music publishing business. And I watched him do an IG live interview. He was invited to be a panel speaker, and then when he came off the panel, he did an interview, and the young lady asked him a question, and he said, well, all I do is just set up. And at that point, I blanked out. As soon as he finished the interview, I called him and I said, don't ever in your life use that word again. He's like, what? I said, who else can do what you do? Nobody. I was like, well, then don't ever, ever, and I was serious, don't ever say to anyone else that all I do is just. Mm-mm. If no one else can do what you do, there is no such thing as just. And so he understood it. He received it. And I've seen a few interviews, and he does not use the word just
There you
anymore.
go.
You know, but point is, people often limit themselves by putting themselves in a box.
Right.
I just write books, or I just whatever. No such thing.
Yeah,
Don't ever use it.
I gotta remove that subconsciously. I gotta move that out of my subconscious. Yeah, because you're right. It all plays a part, an important piece of how everything came together. So you're exactly right. Now, once again, people, we got CEO Michael Watkins with us, CEO of 1619 Gaming Group. Tomorrow is the rollout of Big Stakes 5. Go get it, download it on your platforms. Has the console version, has the phone version, smartphone version. Go get it.
Yeah,
I've been playing.
smartphone and mobile app
Yes,
on Google, and then we'll have instructions on our IG at official Big Stakes 5, and same with Facebook for the iOS users. So
yes. This is dominoes on steroids with
yeah,
with the poker gambling component to it. Fun, lots of fun. I play it every other day. I'm right. I'm doing a lot of writing now, so I kind of pull back even from the spades. And I got a deadline that I hadn't kept, and he's also we're laughing because he's also my editor, and I was supposed to have him a draft 2 weeks ago actually. I'll have it this Tuesday for my next book, Palmer Christie. So what we touched on your biggest roadblocks just in the industry itself, the gaming industry itself. But we get in this project, man, to bring that to fruition and actually getting it to the point of launching tomorrow. What are some of the roadblocks you faced, whether personal or just what's to come within the industry?
I think one of the roadblocks is I'm a Capricorn, uh, and Capricorns by nature, if you ascribe to astrology and all that the quote unquote Capricorn is supposed to be.
Right,
But
right.
by definition, yeah, I fit that mold.
You fit it.
I'm driven. I'm a self starter. I'm a go getter. Uh, but I'm also a perfectionist, and so I liken what this process has been, book, to the artists that can't step away from the microphone
Mm.
and release the album. Oh, if we can just change this sound, if we can just put this right here, and I'm gonna go back in and figure this out, and all these different things. you know, but see that's a two-edged sword, because as you talked about earlier in the conversation about so few of us, we also have to come correct. So there's a fine line between making it the very best it can be, the very best that I know it can be, my team, that we know it can be, but also, saying, "Hey, go ahead and release it," and you're like, "Well, it's okay. It could use this. And maybe if they did this, whatever, whatever." So then, that's where, in terms of the one of the hurdles, because our original goal, quite frankly, was all the way back at Labor Day. And we kept tweaking. We kept saying, well, what if we add this? Well, we need to add this. Or how about this feature? And every time you do that, then of course that's more coding and more programming that has to go into it. So that's been a large, quote unquote, and I don't know that obstacle is necessarily fair, but it's been something that has prolonged the release. But second to that, you know, I would say probably Google and Apple, because they're very strict in terms of adherence and with respect to how they what they allow and what they don't allow. And as you may mention, for example, it's a game that inures to you know the ability to use real money or tournament play, for example, and or play $4, let's call it, and Google and Apple don't allow that. So we've had to make adjustments within that construct for what we can do on Google and Apple versus what will be on the web version. That will probably come January 31st. But so small things like that, but mostly, and again, it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning, getting out of your own way. Because if you are such the perfectionist, you can't ever get it out, because it'll never be right. I used to hear stories about Michael Jackson. He'd have an album ready and everybody's like, man, it's ready to go, but he just would not let it go because it was something in him. And of course, when he did let it go, though, you get masterpieces like literal masterpieces like Billie Jean and
off the wall is my favorite.
Off the Wall, Thriller, you name it, and that Break of Dawn still. I love that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is a double-edged sword, but I would rather lean towards being a perfectionist than someone that doesn't care about what they put out, right?
Yes.
So
exactly.
So yeah, I can pull back the perfectionist, but I
I'll
can't motivate. It's hard to motivate someone that just doesn't want to put out great product. So right.
Exactly.
So you mentioned Vegas. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna say that goes again, lessons in life that I got, from my grandfather. If you watch video archives, for example, of their practices, and his one thing was run it again. No matter how good the play was, run it again, run it again. Oh yeah, that was great, run it again. And because it was, that perfectionist, in him. But then ultimately, also very importantly, SD, is he taught me at a very young age that if you're gonna, whatever you're gonna do, because I didn't play college football. I played up until my sophomore year in high school football. But he would say, whatever you're gonna do, be the best. And so the fact that I was a tennis player, he didn't care that I was a tennis player, and he's greatest coach of ever. But and there's a quote unquote expectation, like, oh, what do you mean your grandfather's the head football coach and you play tennis, like? But he didn't care. He's like, be the best, no matter what you do, be the best. And so that also is the mindset that we've taken into this project, which is be the best. So when the graphics that you allude to, our graphics are far and above any other graphics that you'll find in a domino-based game.
I agree.
But I wasn't trying to compete with any domino game. I'm trying to compete as best I can on a limited budget, but certainly as best I can with the Call of Duties and Maddens and Assassin's Creed and all these big boys, you know, because and Fortnites, you know, whatnot, because that's the standard. And so for me, wherever the standard is, that's where you need to try to get to. No, lowest common denominator does nothing for me at all. Never has, no interest at all. I'm trying to meet the standard and then go beyond it. And so we feel like for Big Stakes 5, you know, we've really done a phenomenal job. For example, we're the only domino-based game that has 3D graphics. You know, we've got music embedded into the game. We're ultimately going to bring live DJ mixes, party mixes on the weekends, and, you know, the ability to select your own radio and select what country you want to play in and different levels. And I mean, so, but again, it's, you know, be the best. Don't go to the lowest common denominator.
Man, powerful, powerful. Now, you mentioned Vegas. Now, is this going to be a game that's going to be at Vegas at a table?
Ultimately, yes.
Okay.
You know, we've had initial conversations with GMs of Vegas entities, and it's been very well received. One of the things that they really like about Big Stakes 5, for example, as it compares to Texas Hold'em Poker, is the quick turn of a game. Because, for example, the audience may not understand is for Vegas, it's all about turns. How quickly can I get your money and get you to put more money down? Right. So the average Big Stakes 5 game lasts about 7 minutes on average.
Okay.
Texas Hold'em, 30 minutes to longer.
Right.
Before there's new money exchanged, right? So the more times that I can have you transition your money, put more money in, what have you, the better. So it's been very well received. What we are ultimately going to have to do is create the proper mechanism in certainly a post-COVID era, and also that people don't have the ability to mark the stones. And so whatever that mechanism is going to be, ultimately I envision that we'll have tablets at tables where, you know, and then you have a host that is actually maneuvering the stones based on individual plays. Right. But, you know, we'll see how that works. But to answer your question, yes, it most definitely will be in casinos proper, brick and mortar, as well as casino houses online.
Okay. Wow. So people, I do have it on my phone. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna play as a guest. Yeah, this is the beta version. I've been fortunate enough to get the beta version, and you know, so I love it's 2 options. Play tutorial. I never played a tutorial, and well, I do. That's a lie. And
well, you know, that tutorial that is you know, for the traditional domino players, they think they know what they're doing, so they automatically skip it. You know,
right?
But yeah, you do yourself a favor and at least go through the tutorial once.
Yeah, and I do. I thought about it. I said, yeah, I do go through the tutorial. Yes, I do. And so it gives you pointers, tells you about the game. Yeah, so man, this is a nice game. Graphics off the chain. And I don't know if you can talk about this, but I know at one point you mentioned a different element that was a unique element, somewhat, of the celebrity aspect of was it emojis or
the emojis, the avatars.
Oh, the avatars. Is that something that's still on the table or that you foresee happening? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. It's still in the works. We're in talks with a phenomenal company, Genies, that has revolutionized the avatar business. And so, as many people have seen the Apple emojis, Bitmojis, and whatnot, and create their own personalities. Well, Genies has done just an incredible job now of creating 3D uh, avatars that can be used as as an emoji, uh, to even substitute for yourself. So we have a partnership with Genies, and so we'll roll out that celebrity component here. Uh, we're working on our platform, they're finalizing their platform, and then when we pull the two together, this it's just going to be phenomenal. But the idea is to be able to play against celebrities in big stakes five. So if you like playing, for example, by yourself, but you want to play against, say, Michael Blackson, or Kevin Hart, or you know Zenith Star out of New York, incredible
Right.
music producer who does the music and did the music for. He's our music director for Big
Wow.
Stakes Five.
Wow.
But you get a chance to say, hey, I played against
Yes.
these celebrities. It's really the bots, but their likeness and their image, and so it's a change of pace, something
Right.
that to have fun.
Right. Right. Man, that's huge. Well, anything you want to share about Big Stakes Five that we didn't cover?
I think we I think we covered it all.
Okay.
You know, I appreciate this opportunity to encourage people to just give it a shot. I you mentioned that you play different games, you use them as meditation. Uh, I do the same, honestly, and I have fun with it. And I think people that take the opportunity to play Big Stakes Five. I thought about this, and I'll be candid, uh, to the extent that there's a push, let's say, to support Black businesses.
Hmm.
You know, I don't want to take that road. I want people to play the game because they enjoy it.
I like
It
that.
just
Yeah.
so happens that I'm, of African American, descent.
Right.
But I should say, want people to play the game because they enjoy it, they have fun.
Right.
We've done what we feel is to create an environment that is conducive, to fun. And the reality is, there are going to be a lot of people that make a lot of money, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, playing Big Stakes Five, and that's great. Ultimately, uh, we want to create stars.
Right.
So just like there are those, for example, Ninja. He plays. Oh, I forget the game that he plays, but there are people that watch him play. You know, it's not World of Warcraft; it's the other game, but League of Legends, something like that. But anyway, point being, celebrities have been created from playing,
Oh
these
yeah.
gaming apps, and we'll create the same, stars for Big Stakes Five. And when we progress to the point when we get into the esports, and then you got your draft, you got your stats, and and people are showing up in Vegas, and teams against teams, and cities against cities, and it's just going to be phenomenal. This is literally just the launch point. But again, the idea was we had to set the roadmap, and now it's all about execution. And we hope everybody has a lot of fun playing.
Wow. I'm proud of you. Like I told you several times, I'm proud of you. I've never been connected to someone this closely that has come out with a project like this in gaming. Yeah, so this is huge, and it's motivating, inspiring, and I'm really proud of you, brother. But
Appreciate it, man.
I kind of
Respect.
want to
That's
touch
that's
on this.
that's
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Now you guys had a tournament recently, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
How much was in that
absolutely.
pot?
We did the initial tournament. It was a small tournament, $1,000, and it was for let's see, what was it? What did it, or did we 2,500? This is 1,2,500. Just a quick pop-up
Yeah,
contest, just to kind of see the players
yeah,
and let them know that. And that's the other part that we've come to realize. And again, lowest common denominator and whatnot. But you have a lot of these smaller events, tournaments, where there's not a lot of money.
yeah,
And so our idea, hey, it's big stakes 5.
yeah,
So,
yes.
yeah, we'll have some small pop-up, $100, $200 noon tournaments.
Mhm.
But you may have a $5,000 or $10,000 weekend tournament, and hey, go for what and have fun, and so and then of course ultimately this is going to drive back to, again, completing the circle where we started, that $1 million plus tournament in Las Vegas, where
No
you play
doubt.
in person, but you're playing
Yes,
big stakes.
yes. I could see that going live. Yeah, on
Yeah,
some type of
yeah,
platform, maybe TV, network TV or something. Yeah, maybe ESPN. Yeah,
yes,
so I can
yeah,
definitely see that.
absolutely,
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
Um, how are you gonna celebrate tomorrow, man? You got the big rollout tomorrow. Well, what's gonna happen? Hey,
uh,
that's a. You said you were inspired by the section in the book. A toast to the
yes,
men. This calls for a celebration, and how
yes,
we often don't
champagne,
celebrate. Yes,
champagne.
yes.
I have my rosé Moet on tap,
Okay.
and it will be popped tomorrow.
Good
I'm
deal.
trying. To be honest with you, Michael Blackson. Again, I'm not trying to drop names
No, no, no.
necessarily. Michael Blackson was in town back in October, September ish. And and he gave me 50 has a new cognac, and
Hmm.
so he gave me that new cognac. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
picked up some white labels, Monte
Okay.
Cristo white labels yesterday.
Yeah.
So I might hit that that
Hey,
new
man.
50
I think it's
got
called Branson.
with
Branson, I believe. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
with my white label. But no, I to and I'm glad you brought that up, because I will most certainly take the time to celebrate the achievement and the accomplishment. Um, and my personality would not have allowed that until I read your book, which emphasizes the necessity to celebrate small victories, no matter
Yeah.
how large or small.
Right.
But a victory, just the same, is a victory, and it should be celebrated
Yes.
with the respect that, because even to the extent that, hey, if you don't celebrate your victories, then why does the universe need to continue to give you any
Yes.
victories?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So
So
it's not just a celebration. I want the people to know it's not just a celebration for you per se. It's celebrating everything that was involved, the people, the universe, the gift given to you,
yeah,
recognizing, hey, you were chosen to be a vessel, you were obedient, you followed through, man, you ran that race and finished.
yeah,
So
yeah,
hey, you got to recognize that. Then, hey, we're gonna hit it, go back to the drawing board, and take
exactly,
take on the next one. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So
So
man,
so
go ahead.
yeah, no. So I'm saying, so I'll definitely take the time to celebrate and give honor for sure.
Good deal, good deal. So we're gonna close out soon, but we have our last segment, and I call this first is first. First comes first. I'm sorry. First comes first.
Okay.
And I want you, one word, name or recite the first thing that comes to your head. I'm gonna recite a title, and you recite the first thing that comes to your head. There's 10 titles I'm gonna recite, and you respond with one word. Hey, first thing that comes, no thinking. First thing that
Okay.
comes, and then we'll close out. Okay.
Okay.
Techno Bowl,
Football.
Super Mario Brothers,
Jumping.
Donkey Kong,
Barrels.
Fortnite,
Money.
Legend of Zelda,
The dragon.
Tetris,
Challenging.
Grand Theft Auto.
Addictive.
Call of Duty.
Hard.
Pac-Man.
Ooh, fun.
Big Stakes 5.
My baby.
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry, I had 2 words on that one.
Go ahead. Give me another one. Oh,
No. I'm
that's
saying
it. My baby. Okay,
my
okay.
baby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Hey, my
So,
brother, my friend, my brother, business partner, man, great guy. I appreciate you again for taking the time to speak with us, to give the people some knowledge and wisdom. And I'm proud of you again. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for you. I thank you.
yeah, no, thank you, SD. Again, to be on your platform with all that you bring to the table. You are a hell of a writer, and the world is at your feet, brother. So wherever you choose to take it, it's there for you. And so that I can be a part of that in any small way, that in history, when they look at some of the interviews that you will have accomplished and done, to that I can be included somehow in that. The honor is mine, and we, the entire team of 1619, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share, our baby with you.
Oh yeah, brother. This is documented. It's in the history books. Hey, it's gonna be here when we leave, brother. So this is history we're making right now. So hey, man,
Absolutely.
thank you again, and I'll be speaking to you soon. I think. I think we got a group meeting coming up. So yeah, I'll be speaking to you soon, brother. And enjoy tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward to it. Enjoy. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy
To you
New
and the
Year,
fam.
brother. All right.
Okay.